It's obvious that the Supreme Court made history when 5 conservative justices decided to overturn Roe versus Wade, stripping millions of Americans of a constitutional freedom. But it's actually the first time the Supreme Court has ever taken away a right rather than expanding one. And for those of us who associate positive rights with democracy, the erosion of rights has been underway for years, even without the help of the highest court in the land. From 50,000 feet, it may seem as if rights, especially when you're thinking about gay marriage, have been expanding, but look more closely and you'll realize that personal rights are being steadily chipped away. Voting rights, LGBTQ rights, rights around education, healthcare, elections, you name it. What the Supreme Court of these United States has done has simply been to extend America's recent streak of erasing rights that are inherent to democracy. Overturning Roe v. Wade and leaving abortion laws up to the states makes America an outlier among developed countries. Take a look at this map. These are countries where a person can get an abortion, quote, on request. Now, there are varying limits on how far along the pregnancy is, but for the most part, if you want an abortion in any of these places in green, you can get it. Canada, Greenland, France, Spain, Italy, the majority of Europe for that matter, Australia and New Zealand, all countries that you'd expect to see on the map. And then there are countries you might be more surprised to find in this group, including Cuba, Argentina, Turkey, Russia, China, and I hope you're sitting down for this one, North Korea. Even in some countries that embrace authoritarianism and have horrible records on human rights and the treatment of women, abortion is still available on request. Now, here's a look at a map where abortion is outright prohibited. It's actually a smaller map than you'd think. Egypt, Iraq, Madagascar, the Philippines, Sierra Leone, Senegal, and a few others. The rest of the world varies, with laws that allow abortion under a range of circumstances, including when saving a life or preserving a person's health. This is where America falls, somewhere in between Sweden and Sierra Leone, somewhere between a full ban and fully legal. That's because since the reversal of Roe v. Wade, it's tough to characterize the legal status of abortion in America because it now varies wildly state to state. The right to an abortion, a woman's right to control her own body, no longer has blanket constitutional protection in America, which means that women have rights in China and North Korea that they do not have in the United States of America. This map is actually being generous, giving America too much credit. The U.S. does not deserve to be striped in green and red, depicting a nation that just can't make up its mind. The entire country should be painted scarlet red because it does not matter if abortion is allowed in some states. If it's prohibited in even just one, then America is not truly a free country, because if the rights of one single American are taken away, none of us enjoy absolute freedom as citizens of this country. Regardless of how you feel about abortion, Americans should be deeply concerned at the ease with which 5 Supreme Court justices ripped a constitutional right out from under the American people. This Supreme Court session's reign of terror came to an end this week after a string of decisions that will leave this country battered and bruised for years to come. But this far-right supermajority will be back next session, and the session after that, and the session after that. As long as this lopsided court rules unchecked by the other branches of government, it will continue to tear down rights and privileges rather than build them up, and it will do so with impunity. The sting of the end of Roe v. Wade should be enough to make you fight for democracy, but in case it wasn't, Clarence Thomas's threat to reconsider the right to birth control, same-sex relationships, and marriages should seal the deal. There is no land of the free when freedoms are extinguished.